Hi guys, it's a beautiful day once again and welcome back to Dexter's World Channel. Before this year ends, I would like to mention a few things about breeding this ornamental fish. In our last two videos, we focus on the manner on which how we can effectively breed our fish. We mentioned about the quality of the breeder, the correct age of the breeder, this Japanese koi and goldfish. And then we mentioned about the tank preparation, and we mentioned about these nesting materials, the quality of water that we will prepare in order to ensure high rate of hatchability. And we also mentioned to you about the two kinds of breeding. We have the natural and the hand spawning. Well, in the hand spawning method, I told you that this should be done very carefully in order to preserve the health of our fish. And right now, maybe you're interested to know about the results of our tutorials, because these tutorials had been my experience for the past 20 long years. And during this time, I was able to establish a good business. And one of you said, where do you gonna market your products, your fish? Well, this breeding of this tropical fish has unlimited market. This is the reason why they are called goldfish, because they are all-time favorite, especially for the kids. And year in, year out, the growing kids would really love to take care of this inside the aquarium or even in the ponds outside the residences, their homes. And this is the reason why we have vast of market for this goldfish, because they are liked by many people, especially to the teenagers and the young kids. And I would like to make an update now about the result of our breeding. And we will watch the tank over here. Well, it's my attitude to really make an update about the result of our tutorials. If it fails, well, I must say that I failed. But oftentimes, we are very successful, especially in the field of breeding of this tropical fish, because we have already honed our skills. Since we are doing this for the past 20 long years, I must say that with emphasis. And to those of you who are new beginners, I am very hopeful that you can follow this one, because I made it very simple. Even up to the minute details, I made it very simple that you will never miss breeding your goldfish. And if you can recall, in our past videos, we were able to hand spawn the very big tummy of this female goldfish, and I'm so happy that we were able to extract thousands of eggs out of the bellies of these two mamas. And this is now the result. We can see down under the tiny wigglers of this pearl scale. Well, I'm not surprised with the result, because I believe 98% that this is gonna give us a good result. If you just followed my earlier tips about the tank preparation, you will really end up harvesting plenty of fish, because the tank preparation is the ultimate secret on how to become successful in the breeding of your goldfish, aside from the preparation of our breeders. Because many breeders would fail because they just took it for granted. You cannot just get water very fresh from the faucet and then put your goldfish breeder and then breed them. They might breed, but it will not hatch the eggs because of the quality of water. So to be safe, I must repeat that you have to age your water for at least 24 to 72 hours. But in my case, I'm aging the water for 72 hours before I use them for breeding. So in front of me here is this tiny dapnias. These are live foods that we are about to feed. And talking about the first feeding, we have to bear in mind that the first feeding should be done when the fry of this goldfish are already freely swimming. You wouldn't give them when they are stick to the nesting materials or to the sidings of this spawning tank, because they will not eat. And the first feeding should be live food. You can give this 3 times, 4 times, but if you can continue until they become big, then please do so, because live food, as long as it's clean, is really perfect for the fry of our fish. So you will see here that we have these dapnias. Can you look at here? And they are very tiny because we use the fine net in order to separate the babies from the bigger ones, these dapnias. I'm referring to the dapnias. And we will now feed them because they are already freely swimming, and we are now on the 4th day from the spawning. So now we will give them this very delicious food for them. Another thing that I can mention to you, which is very important, is about this nesting materials. These are actually nylon threads that we got from the sack of rice, the containers of this rice. And you will see that I did not remove yet this nesting materials. And there is one reason behind for this, for not removing early this nesting materials out of the box, because this will serve as our filter media. You will see that we have here a powerful air pump, and this air pump had been here since the time that the eggs were spawned. We have to aerate the eggs so that we can expect that the babies will not be gasping for oxygen, for breath. So we have provided, since from the time of spawning until now, this powerful air pump. And these nylon threads, these nesting materials that I call, will serve as the filter media. Because the water is moving, all the dirt will be filtered by means of these nylon threads, and they will help us maintaining the quality of the water, especially that we are feeding them with live food. And I have seen a very good result here, because there are thousands. I estimated this to reach around 2,000 or 3,000 for the 2 parents, the 2 female goldfish that we have successfully hand spawned. And I am happy with this result, and this has been a proven thing, only that I did not anymore elaborate this, but because of this persistent request of our followers and viewers to make a detailed vlog, detailed information about the breeding of this goldfish, then I made it. So that is the reason why many of our followers and subscribers were able now to breed also their goldfish. I deem it very necessary as well to mention to you about this spawning tank. You will see that this is a wooden tank that is made of very cheap materials. I only use the tarp, but of course the tarp should be thick so that it can withstand with the weather conditions, because this is exposed to sunlight, and I chose to use the thick tarp in order for us to enjoy this within a long period of time. So we have to bear in mind that we don't need a very deep water in breeding our fish. You will see here that the water is just 5 inches in depth, and the reason for this is for us to be able to have a small volume of water in order to ensure that the eggs will be fertilized by the milk of the male goldfish. If you have volumes of water very deep, then there is lesser chances of hatchability, because the concentration of this milk will not be focused so much on the eggs because of the volume of the water. But if you have lesser amount of water, then we can ensure that this milk, which is very limited, very small amount of it coming out from the belly of the male goldfish will really be concentrated on the eggs. So now you will see that this tank is elevated, and maybe you're interested about the measurement of this tank. Well, this is a 3 feet by 5 feet tank. This is quite big, but for goldfish which are bigger, you can use a long tank. I have there the long tank for the jumbo line fish. They need that because they have to, you know, do the chasing before they gonna lay their eggs. I observed that they will chase. They will need a spacious spawning tank so that it will entice them to spawn their eggs. So this is one of the methods that I have adopted in order for us to ensure the safety, the health, and the conditions of our fish. In my previous videos, I made mention about how did I converted this 200 square meter lot into productive breeding facility. And I'm so happy that though this space is very small, we were able to have a regular harvest because we are scheduling our breeding every 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks, we are also making harvest out of the concrete tanks that we have developed here. So despite of the small space, we were able to establish a good business. And this is my inspiration that in the future, we can maximize the breeding of this fish and the growing of this fish through the mud pond that we are trying now to develop. In fact, we're almost done. And I'm so happy because we have vast of supply of food, this dapnia, and vast supply of water. And this is one of the elements of a good pond, that we can just change the water easily without, you know, having worries about the quality of the water. We can always extract the water from the irrigation, from the canals, and these canals are coming from the river. So I must say that for the year 2023, we're gonna be massively extending our production of fish and grow out of this fish. And I hope that we can start now catering the demands, especially to our followers and subscribers that are living far or even outside of the country. And this is my dream, this is my hope for the next year. So I hope, guys, that you are encouraged. You look at this, we have also many fish right here in this long tank, and we are about to also put them in the mud pond. And since we are developing this mud pond, I am thinking about putting some nets in order to raise different quality or types of fish inside in one big tank. So these are the things that I desire for the year 2023, and I hope that you will be with me as we go along this process. I have to reveal to you my secrets, my good and bad practices, so that you will also learn out of it and you will become successful in your breeding of this tropical fish. And I hope that if you are not subscribed to this channel, may I humbly ask you to please subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we are uploading videos regularly. And I would like to see you in my next video, only here at Dexter's World.